So our last speaker, Martin, is a good friend of mine, Martin Hudak. Let's bring his face up. There we go. He works at the Savoy in London, in the American bar, and is a senior bartender there. Straight away from the time he left school, he went straight into the bar and has done nothing but, though he also has an interest in ginger beer, runs a company on the side, and seems to travel the world non-stop all the time. He's in ridiculously high demand. So we're really happy to have him here today. He's going to tell us all about the secrets to 5-star hospitality. So if you'd like to join us on the stage, Martin, a round of applause, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here today. Thank you, Stuart. He's working for me as a PR agent. So everything what he said, he must say, otherwise he's going to lose the job. All right? You are on the edge. I expect a little bit better introduction, but no worries. I'm going to fix that. No, I'm joking. Before I press any button on this computer, I'm terrible with technology, all right? Even with this. That's why I lost the World Championship twice, because I broke my grinder on the stage. So who was in Melbourne or Shanghai can remember that. So, I hope it's this button. Yes. Yeah, that's me. Apparently in Berlin last year, in Barcom in Berlin, which is one of the biggest bartenders event, and I spoke about something else, something that is very close to me, and it was a coffee and cocktails. Today they asked me to talk about 5-star hospitality, which I never spoke about, because for me talking about hospitality is like talking about the air. It's so natural, it's so important. And everybody understands that we need the air, so we need the hospitality. So I thought like, oh my God, why shall I talk about hospitality? It's so simple. Everyone knows what is hospitality. So it was kind of a challenge for me, but I create this small slideshow for you, and I'm going to talk about hospitality. But before I touch this topic, I need to take a little bit of time for my own personal ego and to introduce who I am. So that's Martin Hudak. That's me, okay? Probably today I look much more sharp and dapper, like a Londoner. But 3 weeks ago, when I was at the bar and we opened a new bar, Kranzler, together with a celebration of Coffee Magazine Standard, I had a cap and like army, a leather apron and short sleeves and lots of tattoos. So I'm kind of like double person. I have my own alter ego. And so who is Martin Hudak? You might ask, oh my God, so you're going to talk about hospitality and I really don't know who is this guy, so I would love to introduce myself. I'm barista, so I started the coffee 8 years ago. I started back home in Slovakia, which I like to call heart of Europe. And, yeah, thank you very much. And basically I started in a coffee shop, but then I fell in love with the cocktails and alcohol, and I found out that it's very interesting to combine everything together. So then I became a bartender, and I became like in the middle, and people start asking me, oh my God, so who you are? Are you a bartender? Are you a barista? Who you are? And I was like, oh my God, I really don't know what to choose, what to be. I want to be both. So then I moved to London, and it's exactly 2 years, 4 months, and 22 days when I moved to London, and I became a senior bartender, American bar at the Savoy, which I'm going to talk about later on, and I became like truly a bartender, but with a still passion for coffee. And that's why I'm like to introduce myself as this. It looks like a bridge, but I'm not a like physical bridge. In metaphorically, if you can use your imagination, I'm kind of a bridge between two different worlds. Coffee and a cocktails. And I'm standing in the middle, all right? And I'm not the only one. There are many great people in this world, in this room, who are trying to combine those two topics. But I'm considering myself as a bridge. So I'm half on the coffee side, half on the cocktail side. I have a little bit of knowledge from this, a little bit from that. And I'm trying to get as much as I can from both sides and as well help to both sides. So one day I'm talking about cocktails, another day about coffee, and sometimes about both. And that's what I want to talk about today. So that's Martin Hudak. That's kind of a bridge. So we're going to bridge that, okay, together. Okay, we've been here. So this is the place where I'm working right now currently. It's called the Savoy Hotel. The Savoy Hotel in London, and it's only one 5-star hotel which you can find on the Thames River. So basically when you want to see the beautiful New Year's Eve fire, and beautiful celebration. There's only one spot when you can see it. Of course, if you have 22,000 pounds to rent this room upstairs for one night. So this is a 5-star hotel where I'm working. But I want to tell you why is that special. You know lots of hotels are great in this world, but why is Savoy so special? And Savoy is special because it was the first hotel, 5-star hotel, built as a 5-star hotel 127 years ago. And it's the oldest hotel in Europe. And in this hotel was the first American bar where first cocktails were made in Europe. So when we're talking about the cocktails right now, not about coffee, we're talking about the Savoy American bar. Bartenders going there from around the world, and they're going like to the temple. For them, it's like a temple, like a church, because this is the place where cocktail was born in Europe. And we're talking about early 1900s. And if I want to talk about hospitality, before that, I knew what is kind of hospitality, and before I knew how can I do hospitality and what does it mean. But it was in a little bit smaller scale and smaller amount in a small coffee shop in Slovakia. But then when I moved to the Savoy, I truly understood what is hospitality and how to do it. And our kind of motto or kind of topic, which we always reminding to ourselves at work at the Savoy, and it doesn't matter if you work in a kitchen, if you are cleaning the rooms, if you are a director or you are a bartender or barista, we always trying to turn the moments into the memories. And that's what we striving for. That's what we try to do. The moment which we have right now, I want to turn in the memory, which you take with you home, and you're going to talk about it, and you're going to say to your friends and family, oh my God, I've been at the Savoy, or I've been in that coffee shop, or I've been there, and it was such an amazing experience that you have this memory. And that's what we're trying to do at the Savoy. But it's not only about what we're doing now, but what we did in the past. And why Savoy Hotel as establishment became very popular and became famous is because of some of the very first moments which happened in all history in hospitality and our industry. I'm talking about restaurant industry, coffee industry, and cocktail industry. For example, Savoy was the first public place where you had a ascending room. It's used to call ascending room, now we call it simply lift. So the first lift in Europe was built in the Savoy. And it's called the Red Lift, so it's still now in the building, part of the building. You can go upstairs with this lift. It's much more faster than before. Before it took 9 minutes to go to the 3rd floor. It was like very slow. And for people it was a little bit uncomfortable to be there and going somewhere up. So that's why they had somewhere there in the back small glass of cognac for you. A little bit of salt to smell and not be dizzy or afraid. And we had a beautiful lift boy there. As well, Savoy had another very first, such as waiters or waitresses with a silver plates. So before, no one used silver plates, but because the Savoy was a place where royalty came in and lots of famous people came, we had the serfs made out of the silver. And it was kind of first silver usage in the industry. Then we had the live band, okay, our Savoy Orpheans. And for example, before 1900s, people, when they dine, when they eat it, they were like completely quiet, focus on the food. But the Savoy, no. We had the live music, and everybody danced, and we had like those big jazz blue bands, and they make noise, and everyone had fun. And that was something new. That's why Savoy became very famous for those big parties. But became famous for turning moments into the memories of the guests. For example, like this. It's a very old picture. We're talking about 1920s, 1930s. It's very hard to see, but those guests are at the Savoy and they're sitting on a gondola, you know, Italian boat gondola, coming from Venice. And basically what happened, we used to have a managing director at that time called Mr. Ritz. Now we know Ritz Hotel. So at the time, before he opened Ritz, he worked at the Savoy. And he was one of the best managers in the world because for him, no was an answer. So one very famous and rich Italian came to the hotel and said, I want to have a birthday party, but I want to have a birthday party which is going to look, I'm back home in Italy. And Mr. Reed started thinking, okay, we need to turn the moments into memory. How are we going to do that? How are we going to deliver our hospitality in different way? So what he did, he hired the gondola, big boat. He made the dining inside of the gondola, so there were tables and chairs. He hung out on the wall on the walls around the room big, big, beautiful paintings coming from Italy. So it looks like we are in Italy. But what he did, he flooded all room with the water, so the gondola can be on the water like you are somewhere in Venice. So our courtyard in the Savoy was flooded with water, and the guests walked on the boat, and they were sailing on the water at the Savoy. So all room was full of water, and it became one of the biggest moments in the Savoy history that we're trying to do something big for our guests, and we're trying to give them some memories. That's why we flooded our all room, and we bring this gondola. And in the end, as a cherry on top of the cake, as a part of our amazing Savoy hospitality, we had a baby elephant coming on the boat with a cake on the back. And that's truly a real story, and it was in the newspaper. And it might sound silly and crazy and unbelievable. Of course, today we don't have elephants at the Savoy, and we cannot just flood it one room for your party. But as a small inspiration, what happened back in time and how Savoy was amazing with those things. And we're still trying to do the same things, but with a little bit different and modern approach. And that's why I'm today to tell you a little bit more about how to do hospitality and how to be a little bit better host right now at this moment, 21st century. And it doesn't matter where are you around the world, who you are and what you're doing, but how to be a little bit better. I'm not feeling the best person to share my knowledge about being a host and how to be a better host, but I hope that I can help you a little bit, okay? So are you ready for 5 secrets of being a better host? No? Okay. No, I'm not turning it off. Are you ready? Yes? Good. So first secret of being a better host, there is no secret. Simple as that. If you want to be a better person in your job, at home, with your friends, and if you want to be a better host, there is no secret at all. It's super easy to be better, and you can super easily spot it everywhere around the world. Just open your eyes, open your ears, go to the places and watch. No one's gonna hide it in front of you, the hospitality. No one's gonna lock it, how to be a good host. When you go to the restaurant and you have a great service, there is no secret, because this service is what you got. That's what you have, and that's what you experience. So no one gonna hide it, the best hospitality. Everyone wants to show it. Everyone wants to be the best. So if you want to really be better host, just open your eyes and ears and watch the people. That's how you unreveal the hospitality. Second one, a guest versus customer. This is a topic which I would love to explain from my point of view, but as well, I heard it many times before. What is the difference between guest and a customer? Later on, we're going to have a workshop, so I'm gonna show you some of the example and some differences between guest and versus customer. So, just very quickly, customer. Customer will receive a service which is needed, service which he wants, and service which is basic. So you're going to the hotel. So I went to the Titanic Hotel last night. Thank you very much for booking this hotel, amazing. So I went there and I received the service. So I walked to the hotel, check-in, room, boom. That's the service which I need, which I want. So I became a customer. But how you can become a guest? Very simple, when you start doing hospitality. So difference between a customer and a guest is difference between service and hospitality. And it's a big fight. When I broke my car or when I need a new suit, I'll go to the shop, I'll go to see some professionals who can help me with that and then provide me a service. I'm their customer. When I cut my hair, I'm a customer. But as soon as they start providing me something more than basic service and they start providing me hospitality, I'll become their guest. Just example. I went to the shop called Whole Food. I don't know if it's here in Germany, but it's very fresh, raw, organic shop with lots of local and healthy stuff. It's not a cheap shop. I did small shopping and I paid like 90 euro. And it was in London just 3 days ago. I went there. I did a big shopping. And I didn't have any bag. So I did a shopping. They did a classic service to me so I can buy a food. and I became their customer. But what happened in the end, when I was about to pay, there was a lady in front of me, and she asked me, do you have a bag? I'm like, no, I don't have. Okay, so I'll give you 2 bags, and I'll try to divide the weight of your stuff which you buy into 2 bags equally. So then you can go home, and you can have the same weight on the both hands. And I'm like, wow, that's very nice. And with this small approach she did to me, it started becoming a hospitality, and I became her guest. And what she did, not she just split the weight between 2 bags and checks that the eggs are not in the bottom and some flour or something heavy is on the top. She measured everything to make it equal. She even opened the box with the eggs and checked 1 egg individually to see if it's not broken. And I was mind blown. And that was became hospitality from her. From basic service, I'm buying a stuff because I need the stuff. I'm spending money. They selling me the stuff which I need. It became hospitality because she started thinking and worried about me if I can carry this stuff home. And she started worried about the eggs if they are not broken. How simple is that? And it's not a restaurant. It's not a coffee shop. It's not a cocktail bar. It's a simple shop. I'm going to the car wash, okay? It's summer. We have lots of young ladies working in a car wash because they want to have some spare money. I have a basic survey. I want to wash my car. But it became hospitality as soon as this girl or a gentleman working there as a student starting being worried about me, my car, about my day. Start asking me, how are you today? How was your day? Where are you going? Where are you heading? Shall I clean this? Are you okay with that? Beautiful car. Where did you buy it? I have the same car. This conversation become not a service, but becoming hospitality. He is hospitable, and he is becoming a host because he really cares about you. And he is caring about your needs and about what you want and your expectations. And that's a difference. And I'm going to talk about it later on during the workshop, and I'm going to showcase somehow, together with your help, the difference between those 2 topics. So I think, or I hope you're going to understand the difference between guest and customer, and service and hospitality. Third one, guest is the center of the universe. All right, so I have a small picture to understand. All right, so this is our universe, which we understand. When we go beyond, we don't understand, okay? Oh my God, universe is such a big, and we don't know where is the end. But why we should think about something what is beyond our knowledge and beyond our skills and understanding. Why we should be focusing on something like here, black hole. Focus on the center of everything. I don't mean sun, I mean a guest. Okay? Focus on your guest. Guest is the center of your universe. And as our managing director at the Savoy always telling us, guys, I'm not paying your wages. Savoy or Fairmont Company doesn't pay your wages. I'm not giving you any money. It's a guest. As good you are, then you're going to have more money. Because guests paying our wages. If you're going to be focused on a guest, on a center of our universe, which can be this room, our small coffee shop, roastery, whatever, if you're going to pay attention on the center, which is guest, you're going to achieve more and you're going to be better. So everything is important, everything around. But at the moment right now, you are, for me, the most important person in this building. Because you are my guest and you are center of this universe. And that's very important to understand. Again, later on in the workshop, I'm going to show you difference between not being center and how to be center. Oh, magic doors. So we had the magic mushrooms before. Thank you guys for foraging. I'm not gonna talk about the Doors and Mr. Morrison. I love this band, but I'm gonna talk about magic doors. If you don't know what doors means, yeah, doors. Okay. Why doors? It's first and last space or place or gate where your guest, customer, it's up to you, walking in and walking out. First impression which you make on the guest when walk through the door is the most important impression. And the last, when he leave the door, is the most important. So both. The first, guest walking to the room, and you are barista, bartender, whatever. You are focused on 1.1 gram and 20 milliliters of water and a blooming. And then your phone just in your pocket start ringing. Okay, you have a message on Instagram. Boom, guest is in front of you. You lost it. Guest is there, walking towards the door. Even if you don't have a time to say hi, whatever, you're busy, my God, machine is broken, your colleague screaming, something happening. Heads up, look at the door. The guests walk in. That's why doors are very important. Because even if you don't have a time and you feel guilty, oh my God, I really don't have a time to talk to him or her, I'm going to look and I'm going to smile. So doors are very important. So every time, think from now on, every time you go somewhere and you cross the door, just look around and look at the interaction from employees or baristas or bartenders at this place. And pay more attention on the doors when you enter. But when you leave as well. Because imagine you have amazing night. You have one of the best coffee in the world. You have one of the best cupping. You did just amazing cupping. You had amazing cocktails. And everything is so good. And then you're leaving. And all night or day was everything spot on and amazing. And you're leaving with this impression, but you're leaving without being greeting and without saying goodbye, have a nice day, I hope to see you again. And you're leaving alone, and no one's cared that you left, and no one's told you that we are very, very happy to having you here, and it's kind of a sad moment. So it's not only about when guests come here, and then he paid the bill and everything is done, we don't need to pay attention. Even after guests pay money and give us to money, and we can have our salary, make our owners happy, even after that, we need to pay attention on the guest. And we cannot forget the magic doors in the end of the experience, when the guest leaving. If you don't have a doors at the coffee shop, just any hole on the wall, yeah? Thank you. The last one, because it's 5-star hospitality, and I have 5 secrets, so I just magically connect it together. I love this. Oh my God, I love this. And everyone knows this, you know, like, your guests are not always right. Yes, we are always right. My God, I know what is ristretto, I know what is espresso, I know how mojito should taste. He's stupid. She is stupid, you know. How can they know what it is? Yeah, they are not right. But they are our guests. So no matter how big is your ego, no matter how big is your professionalism, and no matter how best in the world you are nothing, because your guest is more than you. Even if the guest doesn't have any knowledge, coming to your coffee shop or a cocktail bar, your guest is more than you. And guest knowledge means more than your knowledge, because it's your guest. And that's very important. So before you go to work, look at the mirror, look who you are, throw away all your ego, go to the work, and be there for your guest. I was pissed so many times when I thought that my guest is just a dick. Excuse me my language. Then I was like, oh my God. I give you a perfect example. Happened to me at the Savoy, okay? At that time, I was maybe one of the, average best in Slovakia in terms of coffee cocktails, yeah? I recently, won competition. I came back from Australia and was like, yeah, I almost beat Matt Berger. Like, wow, I'm one of the best in the world. It's my God. And then I went to the London and I started working the Savoy and I was like that big. First shift at the Savoy, I was that small. I was nobody, no one, and I'm still nobody, no one, and I'm still growing. What happened? You wouldn't believe. It's one of the best cocktail bars in the world, where we serve only cocktails. We serve coffee as well. Every morning. It's almost like a Starbucks. Everyone wants a coffee. So Martin Hudak, very skilled barista, everything, cappuccino, boom, boom, latte art, everyone, oh my God, first flat white at the Savoy. And then I serve it to the guest. 15 seconds later, coffee came back. I was wrong. The guest complained it's too cold. Okay, so I heat the cup again, I heat the portafilter, make sure everything is hot, made it again. Another cappuccino, same guest. Coffee came back, guest complained again. And I lose my nerve. I was like, are you kidding me? I know that milk should be not more than 70, and I know my coffee and carbs and everything. I cannot make it hotter. What's gonna happen? You're gonna, shit yourself. You're going to the toilet when you have hot milk. You know that. I know that. When we had hot cappuccino, it can happen. Because we cannot just process the hot milk, and it's a normal thing. So I was like, it's logical. I cannot make a hot coffee because my guest's gonna have a problem. And the server, no, but he want hot coffee. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do coffee anymore. And I just throw the pitcher. And I was like, throw the pitcher, throw the spoons and everything. I'm not gonna make coffee in this place anymore. And then my head bartender, Eric Lawrence, came to me He grabbed my shoulder, he looked at me and he said, Martin, this is not the right approach. You are here for your guest and you need to change your attitude. I know you are right with the coffee, but guest wants hotter coffee and you do hotter coffee. And at that moment, you really need to think about what you know, your expertise, your knowledge, but at the same time, you need to forget about it and you need to be focused on your guest. If guests want a hot coffee, give him hot coffee. If guests want non-alcoholic daiquiri, which is basically just lime and sugar, give it to him. Okay? We are here for the guest, no matter how we think if it's right or not right. By the way, I love Walt Disney. Check his more quotes. He's amazing about the guests and customers. He's great. Yeah, this kind of interaction, you know, our beautiful Polish barista in Happy Baristas in Berlin. So he came to see me at the Kranzler when we did this small pop-up 3 weeks ago. And we had some beautiful talk. You see this interaction. And it looks almost like a fight. And Lucas, you are not here, okay. So he said something about a drink or something, and I was like, maybe you're not right. But I really respect him because he was my guest at the same time. But I know that his knowledge is great about the coffee drinks. And I was like, meh, you know what? Yeah, you are right. I'm going to do it like you want it. And I did it. And that's kind of interaction which you should have with your guest. Always be honest, respect him, and have eye contact. That's very, very important. Even if you are pissed or whatever. You can see there. Do I have a time? No, I don't have a time. My God. Okay. I like to talk a lot. You can see. Oh, we are in the end. Stuart, you can come here with the chair. This is my best quote in the end. I really love it. When I'm doing seminars and talks, this is the best part. You know, the people are like, oh, shit. Oh, really? Yes, there is no stupid question in this room. Yeah, you're right. But remember, stupid people don't ask questions. Or clever, very nice people, and you really want to ask. I just give you a small example. 7 years ago, in a bar show, Berlin, I came here as a small student with a book, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna ask. And I'm regretting so much. If I would ask 7 years ago something, I would be somewhere else, and I would know everything faster. So please, when you go somewhere, just ask, have a conversation. You learn so much. You don't need to ask right now if you are shy. We can do it after with a coffee, just fun. We can do it eye to eye. You can drop me email if you want. We can do it through the workshop in a smaller group. But if you really have someone question right now, all you clever people, just ask me now. If not, I'm going to just say thank you. And then you can drop me email. Drop me something on Instagram message if you want. And I might answer if you are afraid now. But if you have a question now, I can just give the mic to you. If you have 5 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes? Yes, we have. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Be my guest.
You see? Be my guest. He offered me a chair. What a nice guy, huh? Yeah, to be honest, I work with him a lot. He prepared me for one competition in Shanghai.
Which is why you won all of those competitions, right?
Yeah, exactly. I really like people who are down earth. It's very important.
It's the biggest handicap, working with me. See, you'll finally win this year, I think.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely. So, actually, one thing that really sprung to mind, and I think it's a question that goes through a lot of people's minds, irregardless what kind of hospitality business, a lot of what you're talking about has to do with empathy. Right? It's putting yourself in the shoes of the guest or customer or whatever. And I speak with people a lot who have hiring policies for their business where they will only hire like the right people with the right attitude because they genuinely believe some of these skills cannot be trained. So do you have any thoughts on that, any experiences working in the Savoy, people you may have worked with who've grown in that way?
Yeah. We hiring people not because of their knowledge, past, but who they are. Okay? We're looking for the right people. They took me to the Savoy 3 years ago. I was no one. And I always ask myself, why you hired me? It's like you fit the team, you fit the concept. And especially at the Savoy, we're looking for the people who are the people. With the heart, they are hospitable, and they are warm and nice to each other. You don't need to have the best knowledge in the world. Just be nice to people.
But do you think you can train some of these things?
Yeah. You can train the skills, knowledge, everyone. Everyone knows, you can learn everyone to do coffee or cocktails. You can do cocktails at home. But you cannot train everyone to be hospitable, to be nice, and to know how to be a right host. And that's very important. I can teach you how to do cocktails.
Yeah.
And you can be the best in making cocktails. But if you don't know how to be host, how to offer me water, chair, hang on my coat, then done. I cannot teach you that. It needs to be natural.
Cool. Okay, because they get quite a brief question section, we're going to throw this straight out to the audience for like 2 questions maybe.
Only
So
2.
Martin will be here. We're going to have lunch.
Oh, yeah.
It'll all be good.
Beer,
so
whatever.
I'll hand this over.
Questions?
I just forgot to mention first 2 questions, £100. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you.
Thanks very much for a really good presentation. My question is about how can you help people who don't have the ideal service? I'm sure we've all been to cafes, restaurants, bars where it wasn't that good. You want to say something, who do you say it to? How do you say it? How can you help them without being offensive?
So like personally myself, when I go to coffee shop and have a bad experience and how I'm going to approach this, I don't want to be that kind of the guy who is the dick. I'm really sorry to say that. Because we have so many those people in our industry going to coffee shop and pointing. What's that? Complaining, what's that? I'm so bad with doing complaints because I'm very emotional and I'm very empathetic. And I have a problem to give the feedback because I don't want to hurt this person. So that's my weakness. But on the other hand, I really want to help those people and I want to help the coffee shop and cocktail bars. And for me, the way how to do it is what I'm doing now. Just stand in front of the old people and not pointing the finger. When I'm going to the coffee shop and I leave and have a bad experience, I'm going to tell everyone, oh my God, Proof Rock in London was horrible, or, at the barn I had a cold coffee. I don't care. It's a coffee. Just be nice to me. And that can excuse some small things. For me, I'm not going to the bars, coffee shop, restaurants to have a drink, food, and coffee. I'm going for experience. We're selling experience. If you don't give me the best drink in the world, I don't mind. I'm not going to complain. Just be nice to me. Give me a smile. Ask me how was my day. Greet me at the door. And that's it. That's me personally. So, yes, there are mistakes in the coffee shop, restaurants, and bars. There are many mistakes. I'm doing mistakes every day. But be nice. And that can excuse everything. Of course, then we can have a conversation. If I know you personally, and I know you are my friend, and you work in a coffee shop, I can go with you for a beer. I was like, listen, Martin, I think yesterday I waited too long for a cocktail. Was any problem or something happened? And you said, yeah, Edith had a problem, she went home, broke up with the boyfriend, I was alone, I struggle a lot, sorry for that, next time it's going to be okay. I prefer this than pointing. And that's me personally. There are people who are pointing a lot. They're pointing on me many times. But it's okay. It's their way how they deal with the problems. It's okay.
Next question.
I was just going to ask very simply, because a lot of coffee shops, specialty coffee shops, I would say they have certain philosophies and ideals that they want to maintain and portray to customers and guests and so on. So how would you recommend, as a barista, as a server, or someone in hospitality, maintain both the integrity of the coffee shop while keeping the customer at the center of the universe? For example, no sugar, no milk with your black coffee.
Yeah.
Don't put your baby there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I love those. I love those rules. I love those rules. They piss me off a lot. I like to drink my coffee as I like it. I understand the rules of coffee shop. Once you open coffee shop and you have the rules for the first day, the guest's gonna understand that because it's from the first day. The coffee shop where I worked before 5 years, it was 3 years, okay, and then suddenly we start making lungos, Americanos, we start to go like espressos, and people, they cannot adapt. But my God, we are not dinosaurs. We're not gonna die. We need to adapt. And we need to adapt on our century and our current guests. So, yes, have a rules, it's good. Having a rules, it's good. But do you want to survive? Do you want to have a profit? You want to be the best in the town? What makes you the best? If you want to adapt, you need to adapt to the needs of your guests. And if your guests want a sugar, just give it to him. People asking me, oh my God, you are a coffee pro, I'm not going to put sugar in your coffee, you're going to kill me. Shut up, I'm not going to kill you. It's your coffee, do whatever you want to do. I'm doing the best coffee as I believe is the best. I'm giving you the best product. What you do after is your choice. It's the same with the steak. You got a steak, if you put barbecue sauce on this, okay, chef's going to get mad in the kitchen, but it's your choice. Chefs did the best steak. Is his rule? It's doing a steak without barbecue sauce, and it's up to you what you want to do. I understand the rules in a coffee shop. I respect them when I'm there. Thanks God I don't need the sugar. But when I'm with the friends, they want the sugar. Please give them sugar. They are your guests. But I respect all the coffee shop without sugar, whatever, soya, cinnamon, whatever. I respect. But on the other hand, profit. If you want to be the best in the town, if you want to be there for your guests, think about those other things. Don't be just like this. I used to be like that. Oh, of course, I want to do just martini, Negronis, because it looks cool when you stir the drink. But sometimes I need to do piña colada, strawberry daiquiri, and whatever. I need to, because guests want it. I cannot change this. So, yeah, that's it. Any questions? Sorry, I'm very passionate.
That's fine. Any last question for Martin before, obviously, there's time this afternoon?
Yeah, there is a lady over there.
Yeah. What do you tell someone that is approaching you and says, "Teach me how to be hospitable," and you, after a certain while, you notice, oh, he's not talented in any ways. What do you tell him or her?
They asked me to come here to workshop about hospitality. I'm like, how can I teach you hospitality? Or you have it or you don't have it, then leave, It's so hard. How can I teach someone to be hospitable? I need to do workshop now. I'm going to do it. I'm looking forward, But I cannot teach you to be hospitable. Or you have it or you don't have it. And thanks God, I don't know how, being 8 years in this industry, I always found the people who having this sense of hospitality and they're around me. If they don't have it, then I'm going to listen, I understand you love to make cocktails. I understand you love to make coffee. But your strength, the best part, is not to be hospitable. I know one of the best baristas in the world. He's one of the best of making coffee. But as soon as he needs to talk to the guest, he's rubbish. He doesn't know make a sentence. How's your day? How are you? Can I have your phone number? Impossible. Okay? So in this case, what I recommend, yes, focus on what you are the best, making coffee, making cocktails, but try to build this hospitality naturally by watching the others. In our bars, we have people who are excellent with talking. Try to guess who. Yeah, they like to talk a lot, and they like just talking and talking. They have employees, my colleagues, who are like machines, making cocktails. And we know that some of them are strong in this and weak in that, and we're trying to help each other in our team. And we are honest. My Italian colleagues, they like to talk 1 hour about the wine, okay? My colleague from Slovakia, for example, he's like a machine, drinks, not talk. But we need to balance it up. We need to learn from each other. And we know what our weakness is. So you need to understand what is your weakness. You need to be honest with each other within your team, and then you can learn from each other. But of course, if you are not good host, I'm not going to put you in front of the guest to talk with the guest. I'm going to let you be there with your coffee, do your brewing, be focused on that. But I'll give you maybe 3-6 months to observe and learn. When I came to the Savoy, I didn't know how to make a sentence. Good evening, madam, how are you? I was like, oh my God. But I learned. After 2 years, I learned. So I believe in natural hospitality of all of us and within us, because it's something that's coming from home. Our mom give us food. Our grandma give us slippers. That's natural hospitality. So I believe that we can teach the others. I can improve it more. Everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I think that's all the time we have.
Thank you.